at that time how to calculate the resistances in the member. Once the resistances are known to us, the rest of the part is easy for us. Already I explained you two problems how to calculate the resistances in the member. Today we shall see the university question papers. Yes friends, this is what the problem is. Evaluate the deformation of the bar given in the figure, and it is given that Young's modulus for the material is 200 GPa. ಎಕೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೌಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆಯೇನ್ರಿ? ಯಸ್
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಸೌಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇಕೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ?
ಸರ್.
ಇಕೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇಕೋ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಡಬಲ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಕೇಳುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತಂದೆ.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಕೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಲೋ
ಸರ್.
ಹಲೋ ಹಲೋ, ಎಮ್ ಐ ಆಡಿಬಲ್? ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಯಸ್. ಅಭಿಷೇಕ್ ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ನೋಡಿ ಪ್ರವೀಣ್ ಇವು ರಾಕೇಶ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇವ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್, ಇವರು ಶೇಖರದು ಯಾರೇ? ಇದು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಟ್ಟ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೇಳತ್ತೆ. ಯಸ್, ಎಮ್ ಐ ಆಡಿಬಲ್? ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇಕೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೇನು ನೋಡ್ರಿ? ಇಕೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೇನು ನೋಡ್ರಿ? ಅಲ್ಲ, ಹಲೋ, ಎಮ್ ಐ ಆಡಿಬಲ್? ಹಲೋ, ಹಾಂ ರೀ, ಹಿಂಗಾಯ್ತು. ಅದೆಲ್ಲಿ ಬತ್ರಿ? ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತೈತ್ರಿ ಅದು?
ಇದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟರ್ ಏನ್ರಿ ಸರ್?
ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟರ್ ರೀ, ಬಟ್
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈಕ್ ಆಫ್ ತೋರ್ಸಾತೈತ್ರಿ ಸರ್. ಇದು ಆನ್ ಆತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಹೋಗಿ
ಅದನ್ನ ಕಿಲ್ಲಿ
ಹಾಂ, ಈಗ ಮಾತಾಡ್ರಿ.
ಅದು ಇಕೋ ಆಕೈತೆ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಂ, ಓಕೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಎಮ್ ಐ ಆಡಿಬಲ್? ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ. ಈಗಿನ ಅದೆಲ್ಲತ್ತು
ಈಗ ಇವೆರಡು ಮಗ್ಲದವ ಕೇಳಂಗೆ ಆಗೈತ್ರಿ ಸರ್.
ಹಾಂ,
ಅವೆರಡು ಮಗ್ಲದವ.
ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈಕ್ ಕಾಪದಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ.
ಈಗ ಮೈಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಸರ್ ನೀವು?
ಇದು ಓಪನ್ ಇದೆ ರೀ ಅಲ್ರಿ?
ಹಾಂ,
ಮತ್ತು ಇದನ್ನ ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ಅನಿಸ್ತೈತೆ ರೀ.
ಇದನ್ನ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳ್ಸಲ್ರಿ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ಸಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ
ಈಗ ನೀವು ಆ ಹುಡುಗರು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಂ,
ಸಾಕು. ಯಸ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್, we shall go for evaluation of the resistances, hence the deformation or calculation of the stresses. Major thing is how to calculate the stresses. So the problem given to us is evaluate the deformation of the bar given in the figure. We need to calculate the deformation of this particular bar. The bar is subjected to multi-axial loads. One is 150 kilonewton acting towards the left, and one more is 300 kilonewton acting towards the right, and one more is 200 kilonewton acting towards the left. The area of bar is also changing. He has given the length of this bar is 4 meter and its area is 1200 mm square. And length of this bar is 3 meter, its area is 2800 mm square. And the last part 3 meter and 1000 mm square. These are all are not going to affect our resistances. How to calculate the resistance? Already I had told you in the previous class. Yes, what we are doing is, if you want the resistance at any section, cut that particular member into two parts. Either you take the right part or you take the left part and apply the equations of equilibrium to get the resistances. Now he has given this particular problem to us. He is asking what is the internal force in the first part, second part and third part. Once internal resistances are known to us, we can calculate the stresses, strains, deformations. Only major problem is internal resistances. Yes, for that he has given us the fixed support here. Fixed support is given to us. You remove this support and mark here the reaction. What I told you is, if at all you want any resistance anywhere, cut that particular member into two parts. Either you take the left part or you take the right part. So what I am doing is, I am removing this fixity. Because of fixity, some constraint is there. You remove that constraint and mark there a reaction. That reaction is not known to me. I need to calculate that reaction. Yes. Let R be the resistance or reactive force here. I don't know the direction of R. I don't know the magnitude of R. Simply I am calling it as the R. This member, if I remove this support, am I audible? Yes, friends?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Audible. Screen is visible. Screen ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we are
Everything
removing
is
this
fine, sir.
fixity. In place of this fixity, I am putting here a reaction. I am calling that particular reaction as R. That itself is the resistance here. Now forget about this diagram. You mark everything, all the forces on this diagram, and you remove this. You put one more force here, and that you call it as the R. Your doubt may be whether the force is towards the right or left. I don't know what it is. Simply I am marking it along the axis. Mechanics will tell me what is the right direction afterwards. So let that resistance be R. Now you apply the equations of equilibrium to this one, this part. Only you look at the forces. You fix one direction as positive, automatically the other will become negative. So see here, total of the forces in horizontal direction is equal to 0. In the horizontal direction, what are the forces? One is going towards the left, say I am taking it as negative. 300 is going towards the right, I am taking it as positive. This 200 is going towards the left, I am taking it as negative. R I have taken it towards the right and is positive. Simplify it, take the total, that is minus 150 plus 300, that is nothing but plus 150 minus 200 is equal to minus 50. Minus 50 will give me the value of R is equal to 50 kilonewton. Yes friends, what is the meaning of this 50 kilonewton? You need to understand it clearly. What it says is, whatever direction for the R you have taken is correct one. Whatever direction of the R you have taken, it is correct one. Therefore, this R will become equal to 50 kilonewton. Means this problem, I can treat a problem like this with the value of R is equal to 50 kilonewton. So I got all the unknown forces on it. Now my step is to calculate the resistances in the members. To calculate the resistances in the member. Yes. First I want to calculate what is the resistance in this particular part, purple color, that is length 1. If you want the resistance anywhere, you cut it anywhere within this particular length. Separate it out into two parts. Take the equilibrium of one of the part. Okay, I am cutting it. Computation of the resistance in the part 1. Yes. Already I got this number as 50. That 50 I am keeping it here. Whole problem appears like this. Of this I will cut it here. I take this as left part, it appears like this. And I take this as the right part, it appears like this. I don't know what is the value of R1, that itself I want to compute. That R1 is unknown to me. How to calculate the R1? Either you take the left part, make the total equal to 0 because it is in equilibrium, or you take the left part and make the total equal to 0, right? Yes, if I am taking the right part, what are all the forces acting on the right part? This R1, 300, 200 and 50. You take one of the direction as positive, other direction will become negative. Just see here. For the left part means this part. What are the forces here? One is 150 and one more is R1. ಡಬಲ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಕೇಳಿದಂಗೆ ಆಗಲಾಗಿತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ. So if I consider the free body diagram of the left part, ಕಿವಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೇನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈಕ್ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಲೆ. If I consider the left part, on the left part, see what are all the forces? One is 150 kilonewton is going towards the left and R1 is towards the right. I have assumed it. So if I take the right as positive, towards the right as positive, 150 will become positive and R1 will become negative. You can take in any direction, right? Hello? Yes. If you take the left part, see this part, only focus on this, forget about rest all. Now 150 is going towards the left, I am taking it as positive. Choice is left to you. And R1 is going towards the right. And is negative. Make the total equal to 0. You will get the R1 equal to 150 kilonewton. Can anybody tell me why it is tensile? Yes, why it is tensile? If you see this left diagram, you have assumed R1 away from the body. Away from the body means it stretches the body. It creates the tension. If you are getting R1 as negative, that time means it will become on the body. It will become the negative that time, tension. Now from this part, I got that the value of R1 is equal to 150 kilonewton. Now you check it to this part. In the examination, whichever part you feel easy, that you can adopt. But while practicing, you check it from both the sides. Yes, you go for the right part. See what are all the forces acting on the right part. One is this R1, that is the resistance. Wherever you are cutting or separating, there only the resistance is coming. If you join it, this R1 and this one will cancel. You won't get any resistance there. Yes. Now you apply the equations of equilibrium to this part. One is R1, one more is 300, one more is 200, and last is 50. Check it. R1 is going towards the left, negative, 300 towards the right, positive, 200 towards the left, negative, and 50 towards the right, positive. Make total equal to 0, you will get the value of R1 is equal to 150 kilonewton. See friends, whether you consider this part or this part, in this part, the resistance is equal to 150 kilonewton and is tensile in nature. We shall now go for the second part. In this part, what is the resistance? Friends, I told you as an engineer right now, your definition of stress is not load divided by the area. It is internal resistance divided by the area. See here, if I want resistance anywhere in this red part, I will get confused whether I need to adopt 300 kilonewton or 200 kilonewton or 150 kilonewton, and whether it is tension or compression. Best way is cut this member into two parts. Either you take the left part or you take the right part and mark the resistance on it. That is what the step involved in computing the resistance in the member. So we have seen this is what our member is. I am cutting it here. I am cutting it here. Here I am cutting it. On this side, the resistance I am calling it as the R2. The same resistance I am marking on this part. Now I want to calculate the value of resistance in the red part. Right? What are all the force acting on the left part? This is the left part. This is the right part. Both the parts are in position. Total forces on them must be equal to 0. So, go for this part, left part, minus 150 plus 300, they have interchanged here. Actually, this must be right part and this must be left part. So, for the left part, minus 150 plus 300 plus R2. Therefore, you will get the value of R2 equal to minus 150. Friends, are you getting what is the meaning of this minus? Minus says that whatever direction you have assumed there, it is to be reversed, is the meaning of it. It is not that the tension or the compression. Afterwards we are deciding it, whether it is compression or the tension. So I have assumed it away from the part, but it is negative, means it is acting on the part. On the part or the body, it is compressive. Away from the body is tension. We have assumed away from the body, but we got negative, means it is on the body, hence I have written here compressive. Now, if I go for the right part, both together I will get the original problem. I want to know something here, that is why I am cutting it here. I am taking either this side or this side. In examination, only this much you can do. Here as a practice and to get the confidence, what I am doing is I am checking it on both the sides. Yes, go for this part. Now see here, R2 is towards the left, minus. 200 is towards the left, minus. And 50 is towards the right, plus. Take the total of them, make it equal to 0, you will get the value of R2. You got the value of R2 equal to minus 150 kilonewton. That is what mechanics is. Whether you take the left or the right, upper or lower, you should get the same answer. Yes, for this part also you got the 150 kilonewton, and this also you got 150 kilonewton. In both the cases you got the compressive, means the central part, red part, is subjected to a compressive load of 150 kilonewton is the meaning of it. That is why I told in future, till now our definition of stress was load divided by the area. Now onwards, that definition is resistance divided by the area. First you calculate the resistance, then only you can calculate the stress and strain, everything. Therefore, this central part is subjected to a compressive resistance of 150 kilonewton. If you see here this central part, on one side it is 300, on other side it is 200, but 150 is nowhere there, but it is experiencing a compressive resistance of 150 kilonewton. Yes, now we shall go for the last part. Last part means I need to cut the member somewhere in this blue part. I want to know what is the resistance in the blue part. Again I am cutting it here. I am taking either the right part or the left part. You mark the resistance anywhere on it like this. Is it all right? So if I go for the left part, what are the forces are acting on the left part? One is 200, 150, one more is 300, one more is 200, and last is R4. In all, 4 forces are there. Yes, 150, whether it is plus or minus. 150 is going towards the left, that is why it is minus. 300 is towards the right, positive. Minus 200 is towards the left, negative. R3 is towards the right, positive. Take the total of them and make it equal to 0 as the body is in equilibrium. Therefore, R3 is equal to 50 kilonewton. What that positive value of R3 tells you? See here, you have taken this part. On this part, the force is acting like this. Means it is away from the body. It is experiencing the tensile force. You can check it by considering the right part. When I cut it here, only one force is acting on it. Hence you draw the Prevost diagram. It will appear like this. Make total equal to 0. Only 2 are there. R3 and 50 kilonewton. Right part. It is R3 is minus, 50 is plus. Make total equal to 0. You will get R3 equal to 0. So friends, what is the beauty of this subject is whether you take the right or left, you will get the same answer. You should get the same answer. In both the sides it says that it is experiencing a tensile force of 50 kilonewton. So what is the final conclusion? This blue part is experiencing a tension of 50 kilonewton. This red part is experiencing a compressive force of 150 kilonewton. And this purple color is experiencing a tensile force of 150 kilonewton. Yes, friends, anybody has got any doubt in connection with this one? ಯಾರಿಗೇನೋ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಒಂದೆರಡು ನಿಮಿಷ ವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಏನು ಇಕೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಈಗ
ಇಲ್ಲ
ಎರಡು
ಸರ್.
ಮೂರು ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಣ್ಣಿದು ಅಚ್ಚಿ ಮಣ್ಣಿದು ಎರಡು ನೋಡಿ ಇಕೋ ಆಗ್ಲಾಗ್ತವೆ ಎರಡೂ ಅವು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ. ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ
ಇಲ್ಲ
ನನಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದು?
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಇವತ್ತು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ನಾ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತವೆ ಎರಡೂ, ಬಟ್ ಇಕೋ ತುಂಬ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಂ ಹೇಳಿ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಕೇಳಿ. Otherwise we shall go for the next part. We have seen that the part 1 or purple color part is experiencing a tensile force of 150 kilonewton. Then red part is experiencing a compressive force of 150 kilonewton, and this blue color part is experiencing a tensile force of 150 kilonewton. Now, I want the deformation or the change in length of the member. Change in length, general word. It may be increase or decrease in length of the member. So, tension means there will be an increase in length of the member. Compression, there will be a decrease in length of the member. Tension, there will be an increase in length of the member. Like that, this L1 is undergoing increase in length. If I take it positive, L2 is undergoing decrease in length. It should be negative. And this part is undergoing increase in length. You take the total of them. If your answer is positive, what is the meaning of it? If your answer is positive, it indicates that the change in length is increase in length. If your answer is negative, change in length is decrease in length. Now, this is the principle of superimposition. Is it all right? This part is experiencing certain effect, this part is experiencing certain effect, this part is experiencing certain effect. Club all those effects, you will get the final effect. It's all right. On that basis, the total deformation of the member is equal to deformation of the part 1 plus deformation of part 2 plus deformation of the part 3. Yes, deformation is given by dull 1, dull 2, dull 3. We know the expression for the deformation. Basic expression is P into L divided by A into E. That is why dull 1 I will take it as P1 L1 divided by A1 E1 plus P2 L2 divided by A2 E2 plus P3 L3 divided by A3 E3. Substitute 1 by 1 value. He has given E as 200, GPA as I told you is nothing but gigapascal. Giga 10 to the power 9, Pascal Newton per meter square. If you simplify it, you will get it as kilonewton per mm square. Gigapascal is kilonewton per mm square. Megapascal is Newton per mm square. As he has given gigapascal, unit is kilonewton per mm square. You substitute all the values in kilonewton and mm. Your final answer will be in mm as the deformation, change in length. Yes, substitute. P1 is 50 kilonewton, L1 is 4000, E1 is 200, A1 is 1200 plus, yes, this P2 I am substituting here minus 150 as it is compression, and rest values. L2 is equal to 3000, A2 is equal to 2800 and E2 is equal to 200. Like that, if I substitute all the three values, delta I will get it is equal to 2.45. Means this whole member together is undergoing an increase in length is equal to 2.45 mm. Yes, friends, tell me your doubts. Yes, the overall I'll repeat the problem. He is asking you to get the total deformation of the member subjected to these loads. Deformation is given by P into L divided by A into E. Now P is not constant throughout. That is why I need to calculate the P or internal resistance for each member. I am cutting the member, drawing the free-body diagram. Either I am taking the left part or right part, and I am getting the resistances. Like that I got the R1 is equal to 150 kilonewton acting away from the body, tension. Next R2, when I consider the R2, I need to cut it somewhere in the red part, and I took the total of forces on the left part or right part. Hence I got the value of R2. In the examination you need not to write all these. Only if you write this figure, that is more than sufficient for him. But you should know how you got this 150, this minus 150 and 50. Rest is total deformation is equal to deformation of the individual parts. That is 2.5 minus 0.8 plus 0.75. If you simplify it, you are going to get the required answer. Yes, friends, here again one more problem. Here, a uniform circular bar. What he is saying is a circular bar of uniform cross section. Area is same throughout the length of the bar. Is subjected to axial loads as shown in the figure. Somewhere here 50 kilonewton, 70 kilonewton, 80 kilonewton, 100 kilonewton. That is given to you. He is asking you to get the deformation and also the stresses in each part. How you are calculating the deformation? Deformation is given by P into L divided by A into E. P is nothing but the internal resistance here. It is not the force divided by area. It is resistance divided by area, internal force. That is most important for us. Is it all right? Now problem comes like if you go for the second part or even in the first part, on one side 50 kilonewton is there, on the other side 70 kilonewton is there. Then which is the force acting on it? That will create the problem for us. We need to see what is the internal resistance. Like that. Yes? Anything to ask? From AGMIT or JAGMIT. If you have got any doubt, you can clarify it at that particular moment only. Friend, subject itself being the strength of material. At least I am agreeing for the fact that the subject is not so easy. But if you realize it and if you work for it, definitely it will become easy. But if you neglect it, it will be a problematic subject for you. I am ready to answer a single doubt for 100 times. Yes, he is asking to determine the total change in length of the bar and also the stresses in each part. Stress in each part also can be calculated as the resistance in that part divided by area of that part. and deformation is given by P into L divided by A into E. Now I want to first calculate the resistance in each part. Instead of considering the whole part, I modified here something. Just see here, I am drawing here a line. I want the resistance here. I am taking the left part. What are all the forces on the left part? Only 50 kilonewton is there, and one resistance I want to calculate. Forget about rest of. Therefore, for this force system, you apply the total force is equal to 0. What it is? H equal to 0 will give me 1 is 50 towards right, I have taken it as positive, and R1 towards left I have taken it as negative. If you make the total equal to 0, I will get R1 equal to 50. And whether it is compressive or tension, can anybody tell me? Yes. R1.
Compressive, sir.
Yes, yes. Yes, Abhishek.
R1 is compressive, sir.
Compressive force, right. What is the reason? It is not on 50 kilonewton. You just focus on the R1 side. I have taken R1 on the body and my answer is positive. Therefore, R1 is compressive, acting on the body. That is why it is compressive. Right? If you want, you can check it by considering the other side also. In the examination, you don't want all these calculations. Only you want R1 is experiencing compressive force of 50 kilonewton. But at initial stages for practice, we are doing all these things. Yes. बनते हैं. Yes. Now you go for the second line. Means there I am considering the right part. If I cut it here, what are the forces? One is 70, one more is 80, one more is 100. And I assumed R1 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 forces are there. R1 towards the right positive, 70 negative, 80 negative, 100 positive. Total equal to 0. Therefore, I will get the R1 equal to 50 kilonewton. Yes, friends, here you see. Here is my R1. Here is my body. Therefore, R1 is creating a compressive force. On both the sides, the part 1 is experiencing the compressive force of 50 kilonewton is the meaning of it. Yes, anybody has got any doubt in connection with that one? Now go for the second part. If you go for the second part, ಹೇಳಿ second part, if I cut it, if I take the left part, see what are all the forces acting. Left side I am seeing one is 50, one more is 70, and one more is my R2. 50 I have taken it like this, 70 is going like this, and R2 I have imagined on the body. If you simplify it, what may be the value of R2? Just check it. So 50 is positive, 70 is negative and R2 is also negative. If you simplify it, you will get the value of R2 is equal to minus 20. What is the meaning of that minus 20? Here I have done it. Either you can take R2 positive, 70 positive, 50 will become negative, or if you take 50 positive, 70 and R2 will become negative. If you simplify it, you will get the value of R2 equal to minus 20. Yes, now I want the body's left part and R2 is acting on the body. Therefore, whether it is compressive or tension, answer is negative. Answer is negative. R2 is tension or compression. Tension. Actually, here it appears compressive, but our assumed direction is wrong. That is why it is acting away from the body. Yes. Like that, if you consider the other part, what are the forces acting on it? R2, 80 and 100. So R2 if I take positive, 80 will become negative and 100 is positive. If you simplify, again you are getting minus 20. Minus 20 here is not tension or compression. This minus says that whatever direction you have assumed is to be reversed. Therefore, the part L2 is experiencing a tensile force. Now go for the last part. Yes, last part if I see here, actually I am taking the left part, 50, 70, 80. 80, if I take positive, 70 will also become positive, that is 150 minus 50, that will become 100. Therefore, R3 will become equal to 100 kilonewton. Yes, this is what the pre-body diagram means. Directly from the given problem, without any calculation in the examination, you need to draw this diagram. For the previous class, previous steps he is not giving any mark. That is for our calculation. But he wants only this diagram. Is it clear? First part, experiencing compression, 50 kilonewton. Second part, experiencing tension and 20 kilonewton. Third part, experiencing tension equal to 100 kilonewton. Is that all right? Some of the things, like if you go for the second part, on one side 70 is there, on the other side 80 is there, and my answer is becoming 20, where from I am getting that 20 may create the problem for you. Therefore, what you need to do is cut that particular member. Either you consider the left part or your right part. Friends, resistance is very important. Whatever may be the force acting on the member. In the analysis, main part is what is the resistance. Once if you are able to calculate the resistance, the rest of the thing is easy for you. So again I will repeat, anywhere in this subject, any of the internal resistance is asked, don't hesitate to cut the member, throw one of the part out, only focus on the other part, make it in equilibrium, you will get the resistive force. Yes friends, this is the final pre-body diagram of all the three parts. From that you can get the stress. Stress in part 1 is equal to sigma 1, that is the resistance in part 1 divided by area in the part 1. Resistance in part 1 is compressive resistance, and it is given in kilonewton. Divide the area. He has given area of all the three parts as 1000 mm square. Therefore, if you simplify it, here the negative indicates it is compressive. Just by seeing the figure, you can arrive at that. Like that, the resistance in the second part, the force in the second part is tensile, therefore stress is tensile, and resistance is 20 kilonewton, already we know it. You can calculate the stress. Stress is equal to resistance divided by the area, 20 Newton per mm square. Like that, in the third part, the resistance is 100 Newton per mm square. Yes, anything to ask here? Now comes the deformation of the whole member. The deformation of the total part. If you want to calculate it, calculate the individual deformations. Take the total of them. That will give you the deformation of the whole member. So, we know the deformation formula. Deformation is given by P into L divided by A into E. But more particularly, P should be equal to R. R is important for us, not the P. Like somewhere different forces are there, but what is internal force is important for me. Yes, R1, substitute the values. R1, here he has given the Young's modulus as 200 GPa. GPa indicates kilonewton per mm square. Just check the value of E, whether he has given it or what. No, take actually that E he has given. Yeah, E he has given it as 200 into 10 to the power 3 Newton per mm square, that is 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. He has given in Newton. That is why this force is to be converted into kilonewton, from kilonewton to Newton. Minus 50 into 10 to the power 3, 50 he has given, convert in Newton, 10 to the power 3, into L1 divided by A1 into E1. Like that, R2 into L2 divided by A2 into E2, R3 into L3 divided by A3 into E3. If you do all this, just see, first value is negative, indicates that it is decrease in length. Second and third are positive, it indicates that the increase in length. The total change net, if you observe it, it is 0.2375 mm. Positive value of total change increases the increase in length of the member. With that, we are concluding the today's session. If at all you are having any doubt in any of the calculation, you can get it clarified now. Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
total deformation del 1, del 2, del 3 ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್.
ಟೋಟಲ್ ಡಿಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ಸು ಮೈನಸ್ಸು ಅಲ್ಜಿಬ್ರೈಕ್ ಸಮ್ ಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕಾಕತಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಕತಿ, ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಕತಿ ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿಸಿದಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಬಾಡಿ ಪ್ರೀ ಬಾಡಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾವೆ ನಮಗೆ. ಈ ಬಾಡಿದಾಗ ಹೋದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲೇನಿದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್. ಇಫ್ ಐ ಟೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಐತಿ, ಅದು ಅನ್ನೋಣ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಕತಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಐತಿ ಅನ್ನೋಣ ಇದು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಕತಿ, ಇದೊಂದು ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಕತಿ. ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸು ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಕಾಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ತೊಗೋತಿ. ಡಿಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ಪಿ ಇಂಟು ಎಲ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಎ ಇಂಟು ಇ. ಇದ್ರಾಗ R1 ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಕಾಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಐತಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ತೊಗೋತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್. ಅದೇ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಅಥವಾ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಯಾಕೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನು, ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯೋ?
ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಸರ್. E1 ಅದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಹಾಂ, ಈ A1 E1 ಇದು 1ನೇ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಡಿಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್, ಇದು 2ನೇ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅದ, ಇದು 3ನೇ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅದ. ನಮ್ಮ ಜನರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಏನೈತಿ, ಡಿಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟು ಲೆಂತ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇಂಟು ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯುಲಸ್, ಪಿ ಇಂಟು ಎಲ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಎ ಇಂಟು ಇ. ಅದು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಗೆ, 1ನೇ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ P1A1 ಅಂತಂದೀವಿ, 2ನೇ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ P2A2, 3ನೇ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ P3A3. ಅಥವಾ ಪಿ ಇಂಟು ಎಲ್ ಬೈ ಎ ಇಂಟು ಇ ಹೇಗೆ ಬಂತಂತ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮಾ?
ನಾವು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಸರ್, ಅರ್ಥ
ನೌ
ಆಯ್ತು
ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್.
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್. ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು.
ಹಾಂ, ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದ್ರದ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಅದ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ AB, BC, CD ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಡಿಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ AB ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು RAB ಇಂಟು LAB ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ A ಇಂಟು AAB ಇಂಟು EEB. ಆ ಥರ ಬರಿಬೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು. ಅದೇ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನು. ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್? Actually, daily I was supposed to upload these video recordings, but I am facing the problem with the echoes. I need to trace out that particular problem. Then I will upload it. Anyhow, today I will upload almost all the videos, classes taken by me. Yes, friends, thank you then. We shall conclude the meeting. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸರ್, ಇದು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಹಚ್ಚಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ರೆ? ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆತು, ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸೆಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು
ಆಗಿತ್ತು ರೀ.
ಹಾಂ ರೀ. ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಿ. ಏನೋ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಹಿಂಗೇನೋ ಅಂದ್ರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಎಂಡ್ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
ಏನ್ರಿ
ಹಾಂ
ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕೇಪ್ ಅಂತ ಇರೋದು ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಂಡ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್
ಹಾಂ
ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಐತ್ರಿ.